Sometimes sewing your ends in really well isn't to your advantage when you have to pick back. Why? So I am pulling back the baby blanket because I want to do more of a garter, and it was suggested by someone to just pull it back and just do more rows of garter. My initial thought was, no, I don't want to do that. But the more I thought about it and thought about the different options, I thought that is the most sensible option. Nobody likes going backwards to go forwards, but sometimes it's got to be done. Now we are at the end of February, I nearly forgot then, going into March, and so I've been thinking about how I want March to go, and there are a few changes, a few things that I would like to have in my everyday life that I've not been doing. And so I've been thinking about how can I get those more into my life, and it made me think of a book, Atomic Habits. And I'm a real believer in what it teaches in that book about stacking, habit stacking. So you connect a habit onto a habit you've already got, so it makes it more achievable and you're more likely to do it. So there are 3 things that I want to do in March, and I'm going to be calling it Make It Happen March. And I just thought I would mention it to you to see if there's anything you want to do on a daily basis that you're struggling to bring into your life. And maybe this would help you or inspire you to actually make that happen and make a small change in next month, because small changes can have big results. My first habit is I want to be somebody who has 3 knitting projects on the go at one time, not the 5 I've already got. So how am I going to achieve this? So first of all, I have decided I've named them, so they've got to come into categories. So first of all, and I've put them far away from me. So the first habit I've got is generally after dinner, we usually settle down, myself and my husband, to watch some TV. So I need some TV knitting. So that is project 1, is my TV knitting. And at the moment, my TV knitting is the shawl, because generally I can knit that. It's very long rows, and so I can just carry on with that, minimum looking at the pattern. So that is my TV knitting. Second project is my small project. We all need a little project that is portable, can be knit in bed, you pick up, you put down, and something generally smaller. And so I've always got my socks on the go generally. So this is going to be my project, not this one, because this needs to be finished for March, because I'll be on the March socks then. So at the moment, it's my socks is my small project. So I can't start another small project until that one's finished. And then lastly, I'm going to call this, now this one isn't connected to a habit of anything I do in the day, but I'm calling this one my cheeky change one, and that is just anything I want to knit on. And so to make it fit into the 3 projects, I have a cheeky change. So my cheeky change at the moment is the baby cardigan that I'm knitting, with extra needles. So this hasn't got a slot, but it's just one where if I don't want to knit on the shawl one evening, I want to change it up. I'm bored of knitting it, so I just want to change. And so then I can either knit on my socks or knit on this. If it's time, like in bed, this is a good in bed one. So if I don't want to knit on my socks, I can have this one. So it goes in between the others. So they're my main ones, but this one can just jump in just to change it up for a bit of variety. So that is going to be my 3 that I'm going to have for my knitting, so I don't add to these 3 until one of them moves off, and then I can move another one in. So that is going to be my 3. I have got my sweater. You'll be saying, Tina, we saw on the podcast you're bringing your sweater. Yes, I am, but I'm not going to return to knitting on that one until one of these is finished. It looks like it's going to be the baby cardigan because that's going to be finished first, isn't it? And that would be a good one as a change because I've only got stockinette to do on that now. So it will be a pick up, put down projects that I can knit anywhere. Not in bed, it's a bit big in bed because it would have arms and everything. But generally, if I'm on the sofa or I want just a project to pick up for 15 minutes, half an hour, I can just pick that up and carry on with it. So those are going to be my 3, and I shall carry on just having the 3. Hold me to that. The next habit I want to change is reading. I have always been a big reader. In the past few years I've really struggled to pick up books and get into them, but I have started this year. I have been a little bit more, but I haven't been consistent, and so that's something I want to change, and I have actually started putting this into action. So I'm calling it bookending. So what I'm doing is in the morning, so the habit I already do is I go to bed and I wake up in the morning, hopefully every day. And so what I'm trying to do is read when I go to bed, and then in the morning read again before I get up, when I have my cup of tea in the morning in bed. Just spend, and the thing is, what I'm trying to do with this is not making it a big issue, not having, say, I want to read so many pages, is just to read. So if I pick up the book and I read one sentence, I've read that day. So that's all I ask myself, because generally I tend to take my tablet up to bed and then I'll watch YouTube video at night because I say, oh, I'm tired, and then in the morning I'll wake up and perhaps watch a bit of a video waking up. But now what I say to myself is I don't bring my tablet upstairs, and so if I'm too tired to pick up my book, that means I'm too tired. I need to just close my eyes and go to sleep. And also in the mornings, I'll just, waking up, like I said, I'll just pick it up when I have my tea and just have a little look. And if I don't feel like it, then I don't feel like it, but it's just the action of when I've got my cup of tea, I pick the book up and start. Because we all know that once you start doing something, generally you'll carry on. And I do find that with this book, I have been getting really into it. And so I want to have that just continuation. I find the more often I pick a book up and read, spend more time reading it, the more I get into it. And I've nearly finished this one. And I've already got the second one in this series to start straight away. So that is the habit that I'm going to try and do. Bookending my day. Bookending. So in the morning and at night, I start and finish the day with maybe just a page, maybe a chapter. Doesn't matter as long as I pick my book up and read at least one sentence. So that is habit number 2. Habit number 3. Cross stitch. Love my cross stitch. Lost my stitchy bug since starting the wedding sampler for my stepdaughter. I've really got the itch to stitch now. Hence why I only want 3 projects for knitting, so I don't feel overwhelmed with my knitting that I want to do, as well as the cross stitch. So my habit stacking for this one is I'm in the habit of having a cup of coffee, 10:30, 11 o'clock. And so now I'm going to make having a cup of coffee stitching time. Just like when I have my morning tea, I'll pick up my book. When I have my morning coffee, I'll pick up my stitching. But what I'm going to do is have it in my frame next to my chair. So literally I can carry on. I don't have to get it out. I'm not going to keep on changing different projects. I need to do this one first because the wedding is beginning of May. I want to get this one finished. And so after that I can see which one I want to do next and just have one project from a cross stitch on my stand ready to go, so I can just, it's all there ready, just got to thread up my needle, and even if it's just one length of thread or a few stitches, it doesn't matter. It's the fact that I've touched my stitching every day. So that's my third habit, stitching. Coffee time is stitching time. So that is my 3 habits that I'm going to try and do. So have you got a habit that you would like to get into, that you have not done for quite a while but you want to get back into doing it? Or is it like changing what you eat, exercise, all those usual things? There's so many things, isn't there, that we sometimes do. Another thing I have been doing that I haven't incorporated in this is to listen to the radio more. I've already started to just put music on more when I'm just pottering around the house and things, because I noticed that when I was younger I always used to have music on and I just got out of the habit. Like I say, a lot of YouTube, I'm not saying don't watch YouTube obviously, but I do find that sometimes when you do follow a lot of people, it's quite easy to just get into that habit of, oh, who's on YouTube, who's come back up, and it's quite nice to just have that music, and I find it does de-stress me and have a little sing while I'm just pottering around doing all my chores and things. So yes, I have definitely brought music back into my life a lot more as well. So what change would you like to do? What things did you used to do that you don't do now, that have just drifted away and it's just not part of your life now and you'd like it to be? So I'm going to call this Make It Happen March, and we'll see how I get on. See if I do make it happen every single day. Let's see. Thank you for watching. Take care, and I'll see you again soon. Bye for now.